Yes, sir. Great state of Illinois, even though I do love Texas. Trust me, I'll get to that later. Illinois Basketball Coaches Association, the IBCA, they gave me the call earlier this year in January and told me that I was a class of 2025 Hall of Fame recipient, man, and it was just something that I haven't played high school ball in the great state of Illinois since 2000. And just to get that call, and now my kids are old enough to see that when Daddy was very active and really doing his thing on the court, that I get recognized. So it's definitely something exciting. It's a dream come true, just playing basketball, something that got me out of trouble. And before I know, obviously it led me to Texas A&M-Corpus Christi, but the Illinois Basketball Coaches Association is one of the biggest recognitions for the state of Illinois, especially for those who played some type of basketball or ref or any type of affiliate with basketball to get that nod. So it's definitely, I'm a Hall of Famer, man. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, I'm going to get to the Islanders in a second, but like you mentioned, 25 years ago, obviously that's a minute or two. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For you, how cool is it just to be brought back to that time in your life?
Man, you know what? I have children, and it's interesting because it's like all I had to do was go to school and hoop. Like, what type of worries or stress did I have, man? But again, all the hard work and effort that's been put in, the dedication, just the sacrificing of not going out and just, chiming in on the craft, which is basketball, was something that it's a good feeling, man. Some of the things when you go back and look at some of the old footage and tapes and highlights, it's like, man, I really put in some work to be able to, exceed and be one of the best, if not the best player, in the area and or the state.
Okay, so now my first question linking down here is, what drew you to A&M-CC? Obviously, Illinois is a ways away. So, what first brought you down here?
I'm going to be honest, Chris. The weather, okay? Being from the Chicagoland area, the Midwest, you got only 4 months where it's in the 70s. And the fact that it was just an opportunity. I was one of the first, if not the first, person to go have a Division I scholarship. And I like the fact that Coach Ronnie Arrow, he's seen something in me to where he saw something that I can bring to this program, because it started in 1999 and I got here in 2001. And he saw something in me, and one of the other things he said was, how's your personality? I heard things about you, I seen you, so now here we are. We as a basketball team and an athletic program will have to be more active in the community, just so we can create the buzz for we can have the support from the locals to come and support Texas A&M, Corpus Christi basketball, man. So Coach Ronnie Arrow, the late great Dan Viola, man, they told me that, hey, you might not ever see a conference, you might not ever see a better home than the Memorial Coliseum, aka the Cold Dome, but just know you're part of something special if you can just support and see the vision. Years later, almost 20 years later, you get a chance to be recognized not only from the community, but even also the news station, man. So it's definitely a humbling experience.
Yeah, that was actually kind of one of my questions is, do you feel like you guys kind of laid that groundwork for, I know you weren't the first team, but one of those first teams,
yes, sir,
laid the groundwork for the program for, the later years?
Yes, sir. Like I was saying earlier, the program started in 1999, got here in 2001, and just being a pioneer. Just the fact that, as I was saying before, we knew for those teams before they got into the Southland Conference, we was going to be an independent where we was going to go against the Texas A&M's, Aggies, and College Station. The top teams, University of Illinois. We went against Oklahoma State. Like, we had a very strenuous schedule, but also we had the confidence as a team and a coaching staff to say, hey, we can compete and go against anybody. And that's one thing I will say respectfully, is that our strength of schedule was much stronger then than maybe how it is now. Just being honest, because we didn't have a conference, so we was basically plugging in wherever we can, get the stronger teams nationwide at the beginning until we, got more into the independent side of things.
Was it tough, playing those type of schedules and not having like that big end goal, because obviously you didn't have that opportunity. So was that tough?
At first it was, but again, I want to thank you for that footage you was able to look up. I just have passion and joy for the game. Like, I don't care if we was going to play postseason or not, just the fact that I can say I'm a Division I student athlete. I get to travel the country, and I'm doing what I love to do. Like, for me personally, again, toward the end, I was boo-hooing because it's just, I gave it my all on and off the court here at Corpus Christi. So I'm just, proud and glad to see where the program is now, multiple NCAA tournament appearances. I feel like Coach Arrow and for those before, the level of success where they are now, job well done.
And how about playing for Coach Arrow? What was he like, and what was that like? I saw some of the video. You were on the receiving end of some of those. So what was it like playing for him?
Coach Arrow, I love him. I love him. Just prepared me for how I am today. If times get tough, you have to stay locked in and focused. He wanted to win. His mission was to put, Texas A&M-Corpus Christi on the map. If you wasn't doing your part, just like in the real world, you might not have a job. So, but at the same time, he definitely gave us the opportunity to grow. And just the fact that he wanted a group of young men or men to come in and basically no excuses. Oh, we're independent, or we still, we're starting up a program. No, we can compete and or win against some of the nationally, ranked teams. So just playing for him was one of my biggest supporters, even to this day, and someone that mentally pushed me to where I didn't know my limits. So, but again, now as I look back 20 odd years later, definitely grateful for Coach Ronnie Arrow, the staff, and my teammates, man. Again, as you saw, I'll make an and-one, and they would kind of huddle and embrace me as I, make a few comments to the opposing team.
And you mentioned the Cold Dome. What was it like being the last team to close out the Coliseum too?
Like I said, you have to love the game. One of the things when I took the visit, again, Coach Arrow was telling me that, hey, it's going to be some times where it's going to be a slippery floor. We have big fans, so, depending on the circumstances, we're here to hoop. Also, on a positive note, you can get you an extra breather or two. Knowing the history about Corpus Christi, the Memorial Coliseum played a huge part in the city. And to be one of the last teams, if not the last team to play there, man, is definitely something I'm very glad to be a part of. And when I talk to my kids, and even on this interview, yes, I was one of the last, if not the last person in groups to play in the Cold Dome Memorial Coliseum.
Yeah, and what are my last question, if you want to add anything after, but my last question, what do your kids say, when you show them that footage, I sent you from back then? Could they believe it was you?
You know what, the fiery side, yes. I'm a very passionate, energetic person. Was a lot skinnier and didn't have as much hair in the beard, but it's something, man, that it's just leaving that legacy. Like I said, before I knew I was going to have kids and anything else, I just wanted to play the game, a game I truly love. And even to this day, being very active in the community, recruiting, training, and coaching the game of basketball, man, is definitely, again, an honor. As I like to tell people, the game chose me. So, yeah, man, it's just a very good feeling that my kids can see how Dad used to play and how, things are. So now as they come up and play the game, they can say, maybe Dad got some truth, or he has some meaning behind what the stuff he's saying, instead of just being just talking.
Yeah, actually, so what are you up to nowadays? Like, are you still around Corpus or Houston? Where are you at primarily, and what you up to nowadays?
Yes, sir. So that's a very good question. I live in Houston. With my.
I'm a Katy guy. So.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's actually bought a house in Katy, but anyway, that's another story. But yeah, I live in Houston. One of my former teammates, I was a senior. He was a freshman. I'm a part of his coaching staff, Josh Irvin. So coaching with him, and just knowing that we can provide some experience and knowledge of the game of basketball, and also off the court. So just being, again, kind of a mentor, a positive role model, and I'm just glad to, again, be active around the game at a very high level.
And what school up there?
Klein Oak. Be Klein Oak, yes sir. Klein Oak High School and outside of Houston.
So what does it mean to you to kind of give back to those kids, knowing that, hey, you know, you could tell them, hey, I'm being recognized for what I did. Who knows what you can do right now and going forward? You know, what are you trying to get back to those kids?
Just lead by example. Just lead by example. As you know, it took me over 20 years to get recognized at this, you know, at this prestige honor. So if you really trust the process, love the game, and just, you know, have your head down and just do what you need to do. Don't look for the now. Just keep, you know, moving forward, moving that needle, and you never know where the game and or life will take you, man. So again, it's definitely an honor to be able to, the game that, you know, open up, you know, doors for me, as now I'm able to do the same with my family and, you know, those kids in the community, especially in the, you know, Klein ISD.
That's awesome, man. Anything else you want to add?
Corpus. I love Corpus, man. And again, just to come back and, you know, meet with you and tour the station, man. Like I said, I've been here for a long time, and now it took a few decades for me to, you know, come take an actual tour, and just never give up. Never give up. You never know, as a coach would say, you never know when your number is called. If you stay ready, you know, you don't have to get ready.
One thing I just thought of, you know, do you follow the Islanders, like, you know?
Absolutely,
how
a proud
You
alumni.
know? Yes, sir. So what, you know, when you saw, you know, Coach Arrow first making it 07, and then even, you know, the runs the last few years under Lutz, you know, how proud did that make you as an alum?
So the first thing, that 2006, 2007 group, that was the group that were seniors when they were they were freshmen when I was a senior. Myself and Brian Evans were the captains of the team, and we poured, you know, our all into them and told them, hey guys, this is your opportunity, this is your time. So to see that bunch that we helped groom, you know, again, Josh Irvin, Tyrann Mitchell, Big Chris Daniels, and to see where, you know, they started and took the program, it was oh man, again, it gets me choked up to think like, man, those guys, they took the baton and ran with it. And then obviously under Coach Lutz, back-to-back tournament appearances, man, and it's just, again, as a proud alum, it's like this is what the blood, sweat, and tears were for. And even to this day, like I said, you know, I got a 361 area code still. I just love to be, even driving up here, it's like, man, it's a lot of growth, the bridge, and, you know, other, you know, expansions to the city, and even the campus, man. It's from when I was there, we had some space. Now everything is just show the growth and the more, you know, buildings and just the more, just exposure that the Island University is getting. So, man, just a proud alum, and I want to continue to do my part. And even from this interview and just for this connection, I want to keep, you know, showing my body of work and give back to the game that has done well for me and those around me.